One of the things I equate tutoring to is it's kind of like when someone comes up to you on the street and asks you for directions, and you know exactly where to go, and then along the way you know like the best restaurant in town that they can go to. It kind of feels like you're helping push things in the right direction and just kind of setting things right and put people on their path.
There are times when 1 hour literally seems like 5 minutes
or
10 minutes.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, that's also, I think, when you know you've been in the zone. Because you'll go, oh, what do you mean?
What?
You're
Already?
leaving? You're leaving?
This happened.
Just a second, yeah.
I like it when there's challenging students. You know, I think that's the most, I think because we don't just say, no, we can't work with you, like, find somewhere else. I think that's where all these stories are coming out of, like, the best stories are coming out of the most challenging students in some cases. So I like that. You know, I think that's the best, one of the best parts of it.
I was trying to chug through some human biology with Mike last year, right when he and I first started up our sessions, and you know this is the first time I've met him, and he's pretty resistant to learning sometimes.
Yeah.
So I didn't really know how to take it, but I guess like 3 weeks in I realized this is not the approach to take at all. And so I just suggested one day, well, why don't we actually get a heart and take it apart? For the next 3 weeks we brought in squids and hearts and hacked them to pieces and labeled everything and found out the different anatomies. It was a fantastic way to actually see it. I learned just as much as he did, I think. It's great.
What was cool about that as well is you would make him present afterwards. I know you
he presented to a bunch of different students as well. Yeah.
And again, that having to restate it and explain it again.
And it was great seeing how proud he was of the work and like him knowing.
Because you knew it.
You know, the subjects are cool. You know, I think that everybody here, like who works here, really enjoys their subject. Like they, you know, they wouldn't teach it otherwise. It's not just about getting the kid through or like doing like staying 1 page ahead in the textbook. It's more like, you know, people are really into it.
Working in ABA work and stuff like that, I've noticed that often when coworkers talk to other coworkers about different ideas, it almost seems a little bit superficial. You know, like you have to put up that appearance of like, I want to find new ideas and I want to expand my horizons. Whereas here, you know, like people generally just go and it's like, oh, I'm having trouble with this idea. You know, certainly there's a much more open kind of intellectual dialogue between the tutors, but like people are really passionate about learning how to do better.
Exactly. Yeah. Or like tutors asking tutors how to do questions.
Yeah,
which is
exactly.
fantastic
Which
to
happens
see.
all the time.
Yeah.
I think like being here for like quite a few years, you get to see like how different it is in some ways in terms of like the scale, the types of projects, the types of courses and things that we offer the kids. But then also like there's like the common theme, which is just that it is just a matter of like finding the best approach for that kid, and that might change as well. And everyone's had a student that's worked really well for a bit, and then they change, and something happens, and there's a new teacher or whatever, and then you got to start again. So I guess in that way, it kind of keeps it fresh, like you were saying, Mark. And it's like there's always something new you have to like try and fix. So there's always something you have to try and figure out.
I agree. Like just being in an environment that is, there's always people discussing interesting things. Like last week, we were Conrad, Alex, and I were like in the homework help room, and I was asking these guys particle physics questions because I'm trying to learn more. I don't know anything about it. And like we abandoned that conversation. We walked into the kitchen. There was another really interesting conversation that was obviously happening that we walked right to the middle of between Matt and Lauren.
Those ka-ching moments with those challenging kids, that's just so rewarding.
I mean, maybe it's not a particular eureka moment, but definitely in the last 6 months I've noticed her sort of come in, open up her laptop, and there'd be like a set of notes like already started on this chapter. She's like, hey, this is what we're working on today. Like, we carry on with the notes, and it's like, wow, like somebody who has had like organizational thinking problems and that sort of thing. It's just been, you can see that there's progress being made, and it's not, and she's also like pretty realistic about how that's not necessarily going to automatically reflect in a grade. It's not, oh, I can do this, now I'm going to get an A. It's just like, okay, I just recognize this is useful just for its own usefulness.
I don't know, I like it when I really feel like I've been in the zone. Some students seem to always like routinely get like my best, it's weird to call them performances, but like I'll just sit in front of a whiteboard and just like really effectively teach for like an hour. I walk away like, wow, I really feel like I earned my money there. I was really good at my job at that. And that's a good feeling. It's rewarding.